Hello, everyone. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I thought I was live. I've been talking and talking for the last 7 minutes. So, yeah, sorry about everyone. Everyone in the house, I'm sorry. Who we got in? Let's go through. We've got another message. Yeah. Well, yeah. People have just let me know that no one's going live. Not live. But yeah, I'm live. We've got Abandoned Mike in, Melissa Paranormal, Dark and Urban Exploration, Scooby, Mark Urbex, David Drone's Ventures, excellent. I'm just flicking through. Yeah, Mark Urbex, there's a few. Captain Caveman, excellent. Carl's in, excellent mate, Carl. Icy Diamond to get Icy Diamond. Oh, I don't know, it's one of them nights. Mixing, yeah. Hello, Twig, excellent to see you in, mate. We've got Tracy Jackson in as well. I know we've got Adsy in the house. We've got Urban Lad Yorkshire. I'm just catching up on everyone. I wondered why someone left a message here. Message there saying 409. Yeah, I thought, what's going on there? But obviously I wasn't live, but I am now. So sorry about that, everyone. Cool to see everyone in the house. Right, let's get this name right. Burgerest Guided Tours. Nice to see you. Probably no, I've got it wrong. Oh, yeah, you know who I'm talking about anyway. He's there. The name's there. Yeah, I'm dyslexic, so for all the newcomers and everyone you don't know, I'm dyslexic, so I do get people's names wrong and stuff like that. So, hello, Adrian. Nice to meet you in. We've got Matthew there. Cool. We've got loads of different new faces in. Nice to see everyone in. I hope you all enjoy tonight's show. So, right, let's start again. We've got Katie in as well. We've got Natalie in, Streaky Bacon, Andrew Clark, only me and Dick. Cool. Right, our first guest was actually JG, actually. when I did say it before, I said it wrong, so made sure I got it right. So here she is. Hello, Jackie.
You're still fired. First, you don't even go live. Then you got my name wrong. Then you still said Bucharest, and the guy is was it? It's
Burgerest.
no, Bucharest.
Bucharest.
Yeah,
Yeah, guided tours. Yeah.
yes. And the other one, it's only me and the dog, as
And
in
the dog.
it's where it's meaning the dog, but it's a slang. It's like only me and the dog.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get everyone who's leaving the comments and show the names and stuff like that. So,
Hi,
yeah,
Shazzy.
cool.
Hi, Natalie. Hi, Mark. Hi, Captain Caveman. Hi, Mike. Hi, David.
Yeah,
Clark.
you know, it
Adrian.
was Jackie was talking of good 7 minutes before I actually noticed me weren't live. I did go live, but then you got to press the other button behind it, so I didn't do that.
Hi, Dark Urban Exploring. Hi, Ghostman. Deek.
Yeah,
Taffy.
Ghostman Deep
Right,
in.
dude. Mark
Mark,
Lewis.
yeah.
We've got Temporal Transmissions.
Cool.
Mike again. Adrian. Yeah. Ooh.
I'm got to. We got well known unknown in as well.
Right, dude.
Excellent. Thanks for the message. He's one of the left us message saying I'm not live when I'm supposed to be live. I don't know. I've got everything sorted, know what I mean? And everything set. Yesterday I put the live stream out, I put like a little promotion video out, and I thought everything would be fine. I'll just come up here and press go, and no, it didn't work out, did it? It did not
Nope.
work out. Right, come on, let's get our next guest in, shall we? It's Mr. Secret Vault himself.
Woo.
Hello,
Today.
mate.
Right, dude.
Can we have a bit of social distance, please? That's better. That's better. Now we can stretch out. Mr.
Fact,
Volt, we
no
can't hear you.
sound. No sound.
At least it's not just me then messing up tonight. We got Bex and Taffy in. You're right, mate. Cool to see you.
Who else?
1, 2,
Ollie
1,
Fab.
2, 1, 2. You're getting it now?
Yeah.
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh, that's bizarre. Yeah. Okay, just decided to quit the software I normally use. I just to restart it. I don't know why it did that in the background, but there we are. Yeah. Hello. So I was saying, so you put me down here, so I know when I look up, that's what I'm looking up Jackie Green. There we are.
Shut up.
Can we do it like that then?
No.
Right, you can look up my skirt then. There we go.
Hey, I don't want to look at any skirt.
I'll be nosy, shall I?
It's like that Monty Python sketch where he says, "I am upper class. I look down on him, and he looks down on the lower." It's like, and then it's like 3, and it goes, "I am lower class. I look up to him. I look up to him." Yeah.
Oh, God.
Remember that sketch?
No, actually, I don't remember that one. It's a bit. Depends on what it was on. Which one?
Right. Should we correct Mr. Will on his was it? But how did you say it?
Bucharest. It's Bucharest.
Bucharest.
That's
like
it's Bucharest.
Bucharest. Yeah.
Bucharest. Yeah.
Bucharest.
Yeah. It's not like Bergerac. You know, it's not the detective Bergerac off television. No.
Oh my days, no. IDK UK.
Oh, there it in the house as well. Cool. We've got B in the house. Excellent.
IB. Bucharest. Yeah, exactly.
Once I keep saying it enough times, yeah, it'll just come nicely out of my mouth.
No,
as long as you get the name right the first time. I know.
He even got my name wrong, but he wasn't even live, so nobody noticed.
I did say it though on my live stream. You know what I mean? We've got a streaky bacon there. I don't know whether we shouted him out before or not, but I have now.
By the way, I'm on the Stellas tonight, so there's going to be some wife beating.
Woohoo!
Aye.
Cool. Bearded reality.
Oh, he's bearded in as well. Excellent.
Yeah.
There he is.
Indeed.
Nice to see you, mate. We've got 2 wheels in as well. Expiration. Colonel EXP. Cool.
Colonel. Yeah.
Colonel.
Is that bearded reality who speaks like this really quickly? And he's like, you know, I sort of like bearded reality. I am, you know, I like sort of from up north and all that, you know, kind of, yeah. It's really quick at speaking. Yeah.
That's the man himself.
Indeed.
Cool.
Colonel, it was nice seeing you on the live the other week.
I just take the piss. Sorry.
Well, we should all know that by now anyway, everyone who watches and stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anybody help me fix this bastard?
What is it?
Looks like a Tesla battery pack.
It's a battery pack, yeah. It's a battery pack out of a scooter.
Ah.
I think I know what's wrong with it.
Oh. Loose connection? Might be
missing the battery pack. Parallel.
Fuse is blown on it because all the batteries are all perfectly charged, so they're all at the same level. But I have noticed 2 potential slight faults. Is the fuse is gone, so instead of reading 30 to 40 volts out, it's saying 3.6 volts. It's only taking the voltage off the first batteries, so that's the fuse has gone. And yeah, so I'm going to check that out in a bit.
Yeah. Well, what happened? It's charged up and it didn't go once you plugged it in.
Well, I ran it down to like saying it was going to go off, and then I turned it on and ran it again, and turned it on and ran it again, and ran it again. So it was obviously going below the lowest voltage it could go. then it wasn't happy and wouldn't come back on at all, or nor would it charge. So I don't know. But in testing it earlier on, I had a plasma flash and I burnt my finger off it. Can you see
Oh,
that?
you got a little blister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Little blister.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see it.
and that black mark is like where it burnt me. Yeah.
Oops. Yeah, cooking
Yeah.
yourself is not a very good thing.
Oh, Taffy, must you please? We got
I know
Taffy in the house, by the way.
I know
You
he's swearing. He's using that word.
Sarky twat. Sorry.
Yeah,
Hello,
I'll throw the
Two
link up
Wheel.
in a few minutes.
You
We've got
did.
Urban Lad Yorkshire there as well.
Yeah, I Roughneck
So-
Adventures.
Dead memory card. Look, 128 gig memory card. That's got to be sent back because they're lifetime warranty, so you get them replaced.
That's
So
good.
send that back.
Sorted.
Is that with SanDisk? That?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it
cool.
was them who do that.
Yeah.
Good.
I got a new little gadget myself today. A
Uh-oh.
lead.
Bloody hell.
It's a Type C to a Type C, male to female. So
Right.
it plugs in like that.
It's an extension cord, basically, then.
Yeah, but what I wanted to do, I'll just quickly show you. With my pocket, DJI Pocket, you've got the little bit there where you click it out and put your phone to it.
Yeah. And you want to put your phone somewhere where it doesn't rip the connector off.
Basically,
like that,
yeah. And yeah, I managed to get
So
a lead.
basically, make the thing longer, so you've got to put somewhere safer.
Well, I can have my camera there and strap the phone to my arm or something like that, so I can actually see what I'm recording, because the screen on these are too small. Know what I mean?
Yeah, but you can
get
look down
little
like this.
mounts. you can get little mounts that sort of like mount it in front. I have seen them. They do it. Yeah.
Yeah. Talking of DJI though, there's been a lot of hype about the new drone they're going to release. The next lightweight drone is certainly between DJI's updated its new Mavic line with the Mavic 3 and obviously the new Enterprise as well. But also they've just released information about the Mini 3 that's been leaked, basically. I don't know if any of you have seen anything like this or
I've heard of it, but not seen it. I've heard, but not seen anything, and I don't really know anything about it.
I've got the Kernel EXP outtakes. Excellent. That must be another channel that he's got there. I'll have to check that one out. Yeah.
Hi, Darren McKinney.
Darren in as well. Cool.
No, Darren, not Darren. Darren.
Darren, sorry.
Darren.
Yeah.
No, DJI have lost my business now, because I was thinking, oh, Mavic 3, that would be great, wouldn't it? You know, it'll probably have the best of all worlds. It'll have a zoom lens and it'll have like great quality. And then they put this crappy lens on top, which is rubbish, which digitally zooms in, doesn't optically zoom, it digitally zooms in. And then they put this like decent quality lens. And then they said, oh, but that's just the normal version. If you want really high quality recording, it's another £1,500. And it's like, what? So no, not interested.
Wasn't that to the software or just the lens itself?
They called it a zoom lens, but it's not. It's not a zoom lens like the actual zoom, and it doesn't smooth zoom either. Like the zoom I've got, I can hold it there and it'll smoothly zoom in to the thing. This one goes click, click, click. Okay, really? Is this like an upgrade? Is it, DJI? Is this your idea of like a slight upgrade? Like click, click, click. You know,
downgrade more
rubbish. Rubbish.
Yeah, apparently they're releasing this in when they're releasing. I'm just reading. You see, it's supposed to be releasing quite soon.
If I'm not mistaken, as well.
Hello.
Your sound's gone again, Matt. Your sound's gone again. Gone.
Yeah, is it gone now?
Yeah, it's gone. It's not just you. I don't know why. I can lip read, but I don't know why. No, I can't read that though.
No.
No, there's no sound unless you got a loose connection or it's wireless, isn't it?
No, he's got wire on his headphones.
Oh shit!
Don't know what's going on there.
Oh.
I was just reading something.
Yeah, I keep hearing a little bit a few
2,
times.
3, 5.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what happened then.
You must have a loose connection in the wire or something like that. It's got to be something going on.
Yeah, you just make sure these are plugged in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, folks. Well, yeah. The other thing they did a number of little dirty tricks. I mean, they basically brought out a drone which is bigger, heavier, but gives you more flight time. But it's like, yeah, what we want is more flight time, but at the same weight and size as the other drones. We don't want to go bigger, you know, because if you're going down that route, you might as well just give us like an hour flight time and make the drone this big. You know what I mean? Instead of being that big, you might make it, you know, give us an hour. But we don't want that. We don't want bigger drones. What we want is the same size, but more features and more functions. So they made the drone bigger, which is like, yeah. They increased the price. They increased the price to £3,900 if you want the high quality version, right? And they force you then to have like this special remote controller which has the screen built into the thing. But if you buy the cheaper one, they don't give you the small remote controller like they did with the Mavic 2 and the Mavic 1. The small remote controller has a little screen on it and it tells you like your height and things like that. They gave you a big fat one. They gave with the Mini, which everybody was like, hang on. This is a mini drone. So it's a mini drone. So we want to have a mini controller. Now, the Mavic 1 and 2, the controller was quite mini. It was like that. But then they brought out the Mavic Mini, and the controller was like that. And it's like, well, why have I got a tiny little drone like this, and the controller's like this? The drone's like this, and the controller's like that. The controller's bigger than the drone.
It is, yeah.
Boing, you know, like what is going on?
Backwards. Always.
And yeah, they basically took away a good controller that everyone liked, where all the buttons were everywhere liked, and they gave them a dumbed down controller, which was bigger. And it's like everybody went, what? And then they said, oh, you can't use the good drone app. You've got to use this new childish app that we've created for it, which is for like non-professional users. So the Mavic Mini, they gave out this crap app, and it was like dumbed down. So guess what the Mavic 3 uses? The dumbed down app. You can't even select manual focusing in it, and you can't select that you want to select the shutter rate or the frame rate or the ISO. It's all automatic. It's fully automatic. So you can't. You can't say I want to.
Doesn't make sense at all.
It's called the Mavic 3 Professional, but the professional features like being able to set your shutter speed, set your ISO, set your focus, was gone. They've taken that away. But they're charging you £3,900 for a cinematic professional drone where you can't change any of those features. They are absolutely taking a piss.
Yeah, with this new one, they're supposed to have done the same thing, sort of thing. A new controller, but apparently they made another one. I don't know whether it's called the Pro. They made a DJI 3 Mini 3 Pro. So I think the Pro one is the one with the built-in screen on the controller. So I think that's extra money you pay out. It's a bit like the combo kit. If you wanted the combo kit, you paid out the extra for the combo kit. But now I think they're doing it with this new one called the Mini 3, which is obviously called the Pro at the end. So I don't know whether that's got extra features, like you say, for pro use or nothing or whatever. I'm not too sure. At the moment, it's all just leaked out in the last few days. But yeah.
As far as I'm aware, the DJI Mavic 3 doesn't work with the goggles.
Oh God, that's not good.
Crazy. No
So
good.
the professional drone that you think, wow, the goggle's going to be great now because cinematic, I can get my cinematics, I can see because I'm in a dark glow environment. And they've said they may bring they may make it compatible somewhere in the future, which means no, not really. Well, they could, but nah, not going to do that. Why would we want to do that? Why would we want to do that? We can sell you another drone down the line with a different set of goggles, so you can put these goggles away and buy a new set of goggles that work with that drone. Oh yeah, that's what they'll do. They're wankers.
It's like the new Go Pro controller they just released. That's quite a fair bit of pennies, know what I mean? And you'd expect it to work with all the drones that they released recently, but they haven't. But they're saying they're going to update it for future drones that come out, so it'll work with them.
Yeah,
but,
they brought out the Mavic 3 with the screen, the controller it has, where the screen is built in, only works with the Mavic 3. It doesn't work with all the older drones, even though you can buy an equivalent screen thing built in for the Mavic 2, which works with the Mavic. It works with the Mavic 2 Pro and the Zoom, and I believe it might work with a Mavic 1, and it works with a Phantom 4 Pro. So it works with all those, right? Works with those, but doesn't work with the Mavic 3 because they wanted you to pay all the money to have this controller that only works with the Mavic 3, but doesn't work with the goggles. And they haven't got goggles, so they want you to have this screen because it's the only way to see it good quality, but you can't use it with anything else. And you can't use your old controller with the Mavic 3 because they made sure it worked with everything but the Mavic 3. So you're going to have two controllers now with screens on. You've got to have two of them. And now you're going to have 2 sets of goggles, one for these drones and one for this drone. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
More money, more money.
Yeah.
Should know by
now. Whereas the goggle, I bet you any money, right? The goggles that they brought out so far, which were like for the professional goggles, were 500 quid. I bet you, even though they look the same, they're probably going to cost 900 quid now for the goggles that have got exactly the same innards, just a little bit of different firmware to say, I can speak to the Mavic 3 now, right? And they'll go woomph because this is like for super cinematic professionals. It's not for everyone else now. This is for like people with silly money, you know? It's not for you or I, you know? They've made that drone so expensive, most people can't afford it and won't want it. Just big YouTubers and people who got professional needs for it and stuff like that. But just average punter, no, forget it. They're not going to buy that.
No, that's like this new one they're bringing out, the Mavic Mini 3. I believe it's $500 whatever that works out in the UK pounds. I'm not too sure.
Well, that would be about 700 UK pounds then. Yeah, it should be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because dollars into pounds, we should be paying about £300 for that, but no, it won't be. It'll be dollars plus dollars to pounds, exact money for money. $500 will be £500 in the UK plus, because it's UK, we'll put 200 quid on that, so it'll be 700. Yeah.
So we'll be paying more out.
They're bringing out the Pro one as well, so that might be extra as well if you want the screen built in. So I'm not too sure yet. But apparently it's got a 1.7 what camera is it? A 1.7 large or atmospheric thing. Aperture. Yeah. 1.7
amateur. Do you mean a 1.7 lens, a 1.7 f-stop lens, so it's brighter, so it sees in the dark better?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a good camera on a drone, the Mavic 2 Pro is pretty good. I mean, there we are. The Pro's going to be around £1,000 from what he's heard. There we are. Decay UK says. I wouldn't be at all surprised, because the whole idea behind the Mini was this is going to be a small drone, cheap for people to get into the hobby. And now they've gone super cheap, 200 quid. It's going to be a 200 quid drone. Then it was like the Mavic 2. Oh, well, 400 quid. And it's going to be the Mavic 3 Mini now. Is going to be like £1,000. It's like, but wasn't this a cheap drone to get people into it now is costing as much as the old Mavics used to, the Mavic Pros used to. Yeah. I think DJI have just lost their minds, to be perfectly honest, and I think that they just don't care. They're like, oh, people are going to buy it, whatever, so just sell it. If it's shit, it doesn't matter. Just give it to them. Just give it to them. They're like Apple. They just don't care now. They're just like, here you go. There you go. On you go. On your jog. Yeah, right. Whatever. And they know people are going to buy it, you know, even though it's shit.
Apparently, it got 3 sensors as well around it. So it's got sensors now. Got active track. And yeah, a few little
What's the odds? What's the odds it's about as big as an old Mavic Pro will be, and they're calling it the Mini?
No, they've actually said it's 250 grams, under 250 grams still, with all the extra add-ons, with the bigger camera, with sensors, larger battery as well. So,
well, there we are.
I don't know how thin the plastic will be or whatever. I don't know. They've obviously reduced the weight somewhere to get all this extra stuff in it.
Yeah, Streaky Baker says he crashed his Inspire 2 into a lifeguard jetty on Santa Ponsa Beach. Yeah, I that's why I got rid of mine, because I mean I had like $2,000 worth of camera hanging off the bottom of it, and then it was like, you know, a couple of grand's worth of drone, and it was a very unreliable drone anyway. You know, it kind of like had a mind of its own, and you were always kind of scared every time you flew it. Like, is it going to do something weird? You know, is it gonna misbehave? Is it gonna misbehave? And this is why it's the joke. I mean, they made this joke on the Grand Tour. If you remember the opening sequence of the Grand Tour with Clarkson and all that, it was always a drone crashing into something, you know, and it was always the Inspire drone. And I guess it might be because the people who make Top Gear have seen so many of these drones going bang, bang, bang by people trying to fly them and sort of film the cars when they're going, and they've probably seen hundreds of these drones smashing into the ground. I'm guessing that's why they made the joke, that joke, because yeah, they were supposed to be the super duper drone. They were freaking unreliable Inspires. Yeah.
Two-wheel exploration saying the 250 gram under 250 gram drone you don't need a license for.
No, that's what it used to be.
It used to be.
Then the government caught up on that one. They were like, they brought out a drone which is just below the required license amount. Right, take the license amount down so it's any drone. No, they cottoned onto that one. No, all drones now unfortunately have to have it. Yeah,
I was going to say, with the 250 under 250 gram drone, it used to say just the operator's ID it was needed. And that was different than the license, wasn't it?
Well, no, it's I think you've all got to sit the test, haven't you? You've all got to sit the test.
No, I don't think it is. I think there's two different ones. I think if it's under 250 drones, all you need is a operator's ID number. But if it's over that, I think you do still need a license then.
Oh dear. Well, I've lost touch because I thought it was all such bollocks. I lost touch with it because I was just like, I wrote to the CAA and I said, right, you're telling me I've got to have a drone license and I've already got a commercial drone pilot's license, and you're saying, and I've got to have the amateur kiddie license now. I said, you can shove it up your arse, and you know where I live. Come and get me. I literally wrote them a letter in those terms. I'm not kidding you. I wrote them that letter and I sent it off. And I never heard nothing back. And I actually sent to them a Freedom of Information Act request a year after this had all gone through. And I said, how many people have got the license right now? And how many drones do you think are out there? And they said, we estimate only 50% of the people have taken it up. So there you go. And I'm one of the 50% who didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Must think people have just got money to burn, and nobody's got any money because all the fucking bills and shit are going up. So
yeah, that's it these days, definitely.
Well, it's gone worse, hasn't it? So nobody's got any money. They've shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah. Oh, the flyer ID lasts for 3 years. I'm not bloody asking for any flyer IDs. It's bollocks anyway. I mean, the thing is, if the police come up to me and go, have you got your license? It's like, well, what have I done that's wrong? Not whether I've got my license. What have I actually done that's wrong? And it's like, well, if you're coming up to me because I've just crashed into somebody's house, fair enough. I've done something wrong. But what, coming up to me to just find out if I got a license? Well, how's that going to stop me smashing into somebody's house? Well, having a number on the side of the drone isn't going to make no difference, is it? I'm going to smash into their house. It's like, what sort of professional pilot am I? A little number on the side of the drone doesn't actually affect what good sort of pilot you are. And I've been doing this so long. I used to build drones. I used to build them from scratch. And then they're coming along going, oh, you could have a license for this now. It's like, oh, well, where were you then when I was building drones? Yeah, exactly. So, no, bad attitude I have, but sit on this, they can.
Yeah. I think they've just want a number on it so they can actually trace you, even if you haven't got a license, if you know what I mean. But what my thing is, issue with that is, if you ink tag your drone, your license number, and then sell it within a certain, within the 3-year period, someone else can use that number, because obviously you can't remove it off the drone once you ink printed it, jet streamed it on your drone. Know what I mean? So
I've heard of people. People have just put a number on the side of the drone. The police say, like, have you got a number on? Are you registered? And they just hold the drone up. They go, oh, okay then. And it's like, and then you bugger off. And it's like, that's no good. Then again, you could log on to the system and apply for an ID number, and it wouldn't have to be registered to your address or necessarily to the actual owner's name. So that's all bullshit. You could get around that. So, it's just a moot point. It's just the government sort of like feeling like, we've got to do something because all these people having fun out there, like they always bloody do. It's like, any time they see you doing something, it's like, oh, you can't have scooters, but you can have government scooters that are all registered and like got a license plate number on the side of them. But you can't have a scooter, but you can have a government scooter approved by the government. Yeah, it's like, really.
Bullshit.
There is regulations these days over everything. Know what I mean?
And I can tell you what, there's millions of people riding on scooters in the UK every day, and maybe about 5,000 on government scooters. So it's like, yeah, come and get us. Yeah, come and get us.
Yes.
Stupidity.
What do you call it? Them scooters are everywhere. But I noticed in London there was a big crackdown on the illegal scooters, not the government ones.
Yeah.
But I've noticed in Manchester that they don't give a two hoots about if you're on the electric scooter or not. You know what I mean? Whether you're on the pavement or on the road or wherever you are.
As long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't see why not.
Yeah, just let you do
it. The only
it.
person who's taking the risk is the person riding it, really.
Yeah,
especially I was saying. No, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, especially how some people go in and out of the traffic just swerving. You know what I mean? They don't understand. Well, they might understand the dangers, but don't understand how dangerous it actually is. You know what I mean? They just think it's a bit of fun.
Yeah, Kerno says, what do the CIA do with the money? Well, I'm pretty sure that the money that they get is not really even covering their costs in employing somebody to actually run the office and do it. It
sounds like Jackie's having a domestic at hers.
No, the cat. There was a big cat fight.
I guess that's what happens when you have 29,000 cats in your house. They're kicking off again.
Yeah, it was just food time, but somebody was scrapping to get in first.
Can I just say,
it happens every now and again.
Can I just say, in the making of this live stream, no animals been harmed in any way or form.
It's just sound effects. No animals have been shown on screen being harmed, but off camera they're bloody all covered in blood now. Yeah.
Nah,
I'm gonna go and get
not
another beer.
Yeah, no
Okay.
worries, mate.
Cheers.
Nah, it shouldn't be that bad because I cut the cat's nails. They don't like it, but it gets done. doesn't normally get that violent. It's just they sometimes have a little tiff, like a little falling out, but
Yeah.
it's because they got put in the bathroom because we got a new TV delivered. Well, sorry, I did.
Cool.
So they got put in the other room so they won't get in the way. So, yeah.
Excellent. What happened to your last TV? Did it break or the cats knock it over or anything like that? Or
No,
nothing.
No, it's downstairs.
Just upgraded basically.
I've got we've got this TV up here now, and there's another one downstairs. So I think the only reason is he bought me the big one, and this one that he's got is my old one. It's because he was sick to death for gaming on a little farty screen.
Oh yeah. When you're playing games, you need a bigger screen, don't you?
Yeah. Well, now he'd be looking at it on a 50-inch screen now on his games. Keep him quiet for 5 minutes.
Yeah. What are you doing this weekend? To get out anywhere or do anything?
Not this weekend. We are trying to plan going places and stuff. Just got to wait. But yeah, trying to do things. Trying to look for things. And obviously the weather doesn't bloody out because we thought, oh yeah, right. The weather's getting nice. And then what happens? It's been pissing it down. And it's like, seriously. So
yeah, compared to a couple of days ago, the weather's totally turned, hasn't it?
Yep.
Well, my dog's here now because I've got a bit of cheese in my hand, right? But earlier on, I gave her the last bit of my cheese, and I went, "Come here for a cut, Chen." And she just looked at me and she was like, "No." Turned around and I was like, come back. And she was like, "No." Just like walked down the stairs, not interested at all. Like, fuck you. I was like, Jesus. Only bother if I got food. Otherwise, they're just like, fuck you. Actually, oh, sorry, bad language. But that is literally what she's like. She'd come up now that I got this food, and she's like all attentive, and she'll do tricks and everything. And the moment the food's gone, you could go, give me a paw, and she'd be like, no. I only perform for food.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Otherwise you're fired.
I don't know if you can't see her.
Like my dog before, I was sat on the settee watching TV. And he comes up to the side of me, and basically his head's at the side of me, and he just puts it on the side of the settee on the couch and just stays there looking at me. So we just ignore him, and next thing he starts grunting like a pig. Like, come on. Just attention seeking. Yeah, they've got their own little ways, haven't they? What they're doing and stuff.
Yeah.
Their own personalities.
Oh yes, they have.
Talking of their own personality, we'll let this next personality on. Here he is, Mr. John Bengal.
Hello,
Mr. John.
Hello,
Hi, John.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Matt. Hi, Will.
Would you like some cheese?
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe
yes,
you'll hang around longer if I give you some cheese. Unlike this horrible piece of work, yeah.
Oh, picking on the doggy.
Oh, right. You watch now. That's it. It's gone now. It's gone. You watch now. She'll be wanting to go in a second. She'll be like, right, I've had enough of up here now.
Want to go to the door?
Let's see how long it takes. See how long it takes for it to sort of like go. Yeah, I'm out of here now.
She's got the door shut anyway. She can't get out. The door shut.
No, she'll just back that. She'll just claw it. Let me out.
Yeah.
Right. She's checked the floor now to make sure that any bits of cheese that are fallen down. Oh, here goes. Here she goes. Oh, checking it twice.
Sounds like Father Christmas. Checking it twice.
Double checking. for some reason at night as well, I don't know what it is. She goes right down underneath where my computer is and smells around down there, like as if there's going to be any cheese at the back. Oh, there she goes.
There
Look,
she is. Gone.
See ya.
Yeah, bye now.
Bye.
Yeah, you're
And she's
fired
gone
now.
and she's not even staying outside the door. She's going down the stairs.
Yeah.
Gone. Bye. Everyone says she's such a nice dog. I say, yeah, she's totally and utterly like locked into just food, and she's just bored of everything else. She's nothing interested. Balls don't interest her. Walks don't interest her. It's just food. That's it. Take her out for a walk. Once she's done her business, she's like, so like, you can see she's just like lost interest. Then she's like, oh, come on, let's go back now.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I've got a message up
Random
there. Carl.
article. No.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never tried it, don't want to. And it does take you some interesting locations, but yeah, everything I've heard about it is nothing happens there and stuff like that, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to introduce our next guest. It's Mr.
Bloody hell.
Reality. The one and only, Beard.
Hello, guys. Hope everybody's doing all right.
Yeah.
How you doing? Are you all right? Bloody hell.
Not too bad.
Sorry. We sped the tape up a bit there.
Do you notice anything different about Bearded Reality?
What, other than he looks like
no
he's just about to fly a bloody aircraft in World War II or something.
The aviator
thinks he's big.
That's got a beard.
Yeah, no beard. Yeah.
Like
No, see, I got COVID, and one of the new symptoms is like all facial hair just falls off.
Apart from
Right,
the eyebrows.
okay.
Bullshit.
It's true.
So how are you doing, mate?
Not too bad. How's everybody else doing?
And
Yeah,
Sorted.
great.
Yeah, better now.
I've
You all
not been
been
out
busy?
much recently, no. Not really, because I've been doing a little bits and bobs for the family and stuff like that, so I've been busy. So obviously, I've not even put out a film this week,
Oh, no,
where they
fair.
normally put out a video every Sunday, so yeah.
What are you next planning to put out?
I said it a couple of weeks ago, it's at Eva Brothers in
Is that the one
Openshaw.
where they did the where they built the Titanic piston things?
Conrads and stuff like that, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, talking about films coming out, I managed to get one of these SD card things, for the old M2 memory cards.
Where'd you get that from?
Oh,
it's an
well.
adapter.
Yeah, it's an adapter, basically. There's the memory card, and
Yeah.
it goes into there.
Where did you
and
get
that
the
plugs in.
adapter from? Or just online?
No, it was market in Manchester Indoor Market.
I need to pick up a couple of those from like my old stuff from like 15 years ago, to be fair.
Yeah.
I've got loads of old memory cards.
I was going through what was on it, and basically there's a part from Bellevue where you took the kids there to watch the track, not the grass tracks,
Dog
not the grass
races.
tracks, but yeah, the cars,
Speedway.
karts and stuff like that.
Oh, banger racing.
Bangers.
Awesome.
Banger
Banger
racing.
racing,
Oh.
yeah. And they got a bit of old footage there of the track and the vehicles going round and flames coming out of the back exhaust and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
So I'm going to
Cool.
try and put that into one of, my Bellevue video once I get round to finishing it off. I've started it, but I've only got halfway through it. Because obviously I'm still waiting for this guy to contact me about the history of the farms that we found on there. So I'll have to get back in touch with him. Did lose his number, I found it again. Gave him a message, he said, right, we'll sort something out, but I've not heard anything since, so I've got to get on his case. But yeah,
Yeah,
there's
chase
like a
him
couple
up.
of films. Yeah, there's a couple of films about that place I want to bring out. One, obviously, the dog track and the stadium itself. One about the farm and stuff like that as well. The history of the place of
Should be
Bellevue.
some great content though.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't want to rush it because doing like a little mini projects like that, you don't want to rush things. You just want to get them just right.
You sound like you've had a bit of a cold recently, Mr. Will.
Who,
Yeah,
me?
he does.
Yeah.
Chesty. You sound chesty.
You got like a chesty rasp or something going on. Sorry,
Or
I
is it
just
Yeah.
is it that just rubbing up and down? That's all I
No,
can
it
hear.
sounded like you.
when you're breathing, you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get a drink.
Have you
Good
you
idea.
had a cold or something recently? I mean, I've had something. I don't know whether I had COVID or a phlegm. I didn't feel bad in any way, shape, or form at all, but I just had phlegm, and I'm still coughing it up, at the moment. But
Apart,
when I went to Wales the other day, I was so exhausted because we did 3 or 4 hours driving there. Gav did the driving, then we were 4 hours underground, and we were talking about grueling walking up and down hills underground, like 45-degree banks and so that. And when I got home, I was talking like this. I was like, hello, hello. And I was like, my voice went. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of it about at the moment.
apparently, according to like the COVID stuff and all the other things, it's quite turned into more like a common kind of flu, kind of cold kind of thing. So, do you know what I mean? Seems like that's more like the case now. It's just evolving. Like, I've been knocked out for the past 2 or 3 days dealing with my stuff and whatnot. It's awful. But like, and I nearly lost my voice the other day.
I was knocked out for the weekend. I was going to do some exploring, and I was in bed all day Saturday, Sunday. Proper ill. I've got chest pain, everything. I thought I was going to go to hospital at one point, and I felt so ill. Yeah, really bad.
I said to
Was that COVID?
No, it wasn't. No, I did all the tests and all that shit, and nothing come up. I'm like, okay. And then, funny enough, I was speaking to someone today. I said, "Oh, did you have a good weekend? Didn't see you yesterday." And they went, "Oh, I was in hospital on Sunday." I said, "All right, what happened?" I think it was like a kid or whatever. And it said, "No, they went in and they literally described the same symptoms of what I had. Turns out they got a virus, had a virus, and apparently there's some strange virus going around. It just knocks you out, and you really think that you're on death's door."
Yeah.
Like I had the positive test, and I'm like, so like nowadays we just have to deal with it and live with it and everything like. So I said to the other homies, we were planning on exploring. Like, well, what do you want to do? Because at the end of the day, positive test is guaranteed. I am positive and all the other stuff. Do you want to go out or not? They were like, yeah, cool, we don't care. We've been vaccinated and all the other stuff. So off out we go. I'm still feeling okay. Day after, good lord, hit me like nothing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, horrible.
Yeah.
I don't know what I had. I tell you, I was in bed and my eyes just kept going. You know, like when you you go up too quick or you put your head down, your eyes go weird.
Kind of like a fever state. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it was like, it was harsh, and nothing I had made me feel any better. I couldn't sleep. I kept getting hot and cold, roasting, and then like freezing cold. And I had all my muscles are hurting as well afterwards. My chest started hurting.
Seems
like when you
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, like when you have indigestion, you think, oh, I've eaten something. Have a couple of Rennies or whatever. That definitely worked that. And I got to a stage where I was thinking, if this don't go away in the next hour, I'm going up to the hospital because it was that bad.
Yeah,
I just find it interesting how over the past 2 years we've had all this stuff that we've had to deal with and do, even though people are more vaccinated now and all the other stuff. Yeah, everything's scrapped, all the other things, like we don't give a shit anymore. And you're just like, well, what was the point of the last 2 years, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It seems like, you can't like suddenly just go, okay, we don't give a shit anymore. Okay, fine, I'll use that and everything like that. Let everybody know, you know what I mean, what's going on. But the whole fucking society and everything stops. Yeah, everything's back to it. Who cares? Very strange times.
You can't. The thing is, you can't lock society down for a long period. They've done it for a year, nearly 2. They can't do it any longer. Society just crumbles, and people just get on with it.
Like Beggars, what I mean is though, is like, what was the point of doing that in the first place? If you understand what I mean, like, if we are gonna, if we've got to the point where we have to just live with it and do whatever, we have to decimate the economy, we have to do all these kind of things. Yeah, we've come to the stage where actually no, we don't care. Oh well. What was the point in all the hardships that people had to go through? People that can't even visit the families when they're dying, and all. Do you know what I mean? While other people are partying and doing whatever they want to come to this stage in life. madness.
Money,
It
money,
is.
money, isn't it?
But no, but again, pure madness though.
Yeah, it's not right
Anyway,
though.
somebody change the topic.
It's because they right how they were having parties when people couldn't go and visit their own family.
It's only £1,000 to £2,000 fine. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they're not bothered about that, are they? Like you say, we're about money. You know what I mean? Them lot. Yeah.
No,
Crazy.
I didn't watch Dark Arts TV latest video because I don't watch their videos anymore because they don't like me and I don't like them.
Here's a question, Singaval. Who do you watch then? Like, who would you say is your go-to couple of people that you'd watch that you're like, oh shit, I like their shit?
I don't watch a lot of videos at the moment because I'm always editing stuff. I haven't got enough time to watch other people's videos,
See,
to be perfectly honest.
I say the same thing, but if you had to choose people to watch that you're like, oh, you know what, I've got a couple of hours free, I'm not doing shit all. Who am I going to go and watch and who am I going to go, like, I like the content?
I tend to sort of like skip through people's videos who I've kind of, you know, subscribed to. If they pop up, I'll just fast forward through them. I go bip, 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 and look for like, I can see if there's something interesting, like, oh, they're in a tunnel, and I sort of might watch that bit then.
Wait, you don't
And
have
it's
go-tos?
like-
Everybody has go-tos.
I don't watch them much at the moment. I don't know. I've just going through a phase of not really watching other people's videos. I just make my own, and I keep like locked into what I'm doing. You know, it's
Sometimes there's not enough hours in the day to do it.
There isn't. I mean, like, I tend to spend my time, when I do get those bit of time, like, trying to catch up with people that I explore with, but then I'll go to, like, Sam and Jess. I like those guys. Finders Beepers, I do enjoy watching them as well because of the banter and what they do. Even Hell on Earth, I enjoy watching their content because it's the banter and how they explore and how they do things. And it's like, oh, I like the way that they actually do it. Might not necessarily be the content, it's how they're interacting and how they're doing things. It's what I tend to do.
Yeah,
I say I've watched more Hell on Earth, even though I've always said like, oh, I don't really do the Hell on Earth thing. I've watched more of their videos recently than I have of other people's videos, which is surprising. But it's because it's weird because I mean they do some really extreme subjects, like they do a lot about murderers and weird stuff.
Yeah.
And it's one of those subject matters that, although I'm not like obsessed with murderers or crazy people, you can't help watch. I'm not into that stuff at all.
But it draws you in. I go, you're like, oh, hello.
Yeah. You know, because they do point out some interesting things, like the recent Jimmy Savile video they did, where they said he said he lived across the park, and the Moors murderer murdered somebody just outside his window. He could have looked out the window and seen where he murdered the woman.
It was the Yorkshire Ripper.
I thought it was the Yorkshire Ripper.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
the Moors murderers, the Yorkshire Ripper.
But again,
Yorkshire Ripper.
I've never.
Isn't that the Moors murderers though? They call them the Moors murderers.
No, that's in Saddleworth, not far from me.
Moors murderers were Myra Hindley and the other guy. I forget his name.
Ian Brady.
Ian Brady.
Yeah. But like the Yorkshire Ripper, I've never seen that connection made before. And it's like little things like that, and you're like, oh, that's actually really interesting.
Yeah, but okay, was it Ian Brady?
And Myra Hindley is the
Myra Hindley, up here.
What's the other one? Peter Sutcliffe.
Peter Sutcliffe.
Oh, sorry, I'm kind of getting mixed up now. See, this is how little I know about murderers. But
to be fair,
I know I've heard the names, but I just thought it was fascinating that it was like Jimmy Savile befriended this guy and became his friend in a prison. And then this guy was murdering people outside his bedroom window.
To be fair, unfortunately, there's been quite a lot of murderers in the Yorkshire area.
Yeah.
I read a story today about a murderer. Actually, some woman. I think it's in America. It's not the UK. But she, her and her boyfriend, absolutely high on meth, completely. Started having a lot of sex, and she started strangling him like people do, and she liked it, so she carried on. Obviously at the same time, both high on meth. Carried on, killed him, cut him up, literally just cut him up. She went and got a serrated knife, cut him all up, and when she went and put his torso and another part of another body part in a car. left the door open, and the neighbour or someone had heard some noise or whatever going on, didn't know what was going on, just opened the door. I think it turned out to be like the mother-in-law or something. She went in, and when the police went in as well, found all the stuff, and all they found was like various parts. She had the head in a bucket. His penis was sitting on the side in a jar.
I mean, that's a drastic way from going from manslaughter to first degree.
Yeah. And when they interviewed her, they went, "Can you tell us what happened?" She went, well, "You tell me. We were high on meth." It's like, what?
Mad.
Yeah.
That shit, then.
See, I was wanting to I'm looking at doing different projects, different things if I get the time. So one of the things that I wanted to do is looking at Yorkshire missing people, murders, and just missing people in general, and all the other stuff. Which like more of the unknown cases from the 60s, 70s, 80s, that kind of thing. Because then back then, it's completely different in today's society with everywhere being cameraed up, and do you know what I mean? But back then, there's some fascinating cases of people going missing and just there's nothing, it's gone. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like nobody's really focused on these kind of areas. Like for me, it'd be Yorkshire because it's my area. But if you look at certain parts of the countries and certain cases that have gone on, they're baffling. Some of them are just baffling. You're just like, what? How has this even happened? Mad.
It's like this one, Shipman. I was past there. Was it yesterday or the day before? Went past his old surgery. You know what I mean? And I even speaking to my mum.
Hyde.
Yeah, in Hyde. And I said, look, there's where that twat used to work from. And she knew who he was talking about straight away without saying his name.
Yeah.
I was giving a lift to somebody in Bristol. Now I don't watch the news, so I don't get a lot of these stories. There's probably a lot I've never heard of. And she said to me, "Oh, this is the street where that kiddie cut up his sister." And I'm like, "What?" And she said, "Oh yeah, that the guy who cut." And I said, "No, I've got no idea." And she said, "Yeah, he cut up his sister, and then hid all the body parts in different parts of the town or area that they live, which is where my friend lives." And he was put his arm over there and a head over there and placed all body parts are all around where he lived. Of course, they're gonna get bloody found, aren't they? I mean, come on.
I mean, to be fair, not necessarily. You'd be surprised. There's some people that have never been found for the crazy shit they've done.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And again, some of it stretches back decades. Even nowadays, there was a fact. Something at any given time, there's 30 to 50 active serial killers knocking about. And you just think, you think of the numbers, and think about the amount of people, but you think, Jesus Christ. It does make you think. We don't live in the same society where people are hitchhiking and doing the same kind of risque kind of things, but it is madness.
Yeah. I've got another comment highlighted there. Anyone heard about the Black Panther in the Midlands? Yeah.
In the Midlands.
I don't know whether any who's know T420 Tom. He went there and did a little piece on it as well. He's actually been down in, his mates who was with him went down in the water system and filmed a little bit of stuff in there. Yeah. So it's just crazy, isn't it, what people can get up to and stuff.
There's a guy going around at the moment.
Oh yeah.
For the past 15 years, he's been basically pushing and drowning people in the canals in Yorkshire, Manchester. I don't know if you guys know about
Manchester.
Yeah.
I've heard about it.
They haven't caught the guy, but this is stretching back a good
10-15
years.
Yeah.
I think his body count at least confirmed is about 10 to something, isn't it? And you just think, Jesus Christ,
Yeah, it's a rumour though. Everyone's saying there's a pusher, and some people are saying there's not a pusher. But too many people.
It could be a pusher not letting somebody out and watching them drown. Do you know what I mean? Or hitting
too
somebody.
Too many people, isn't there? And same situation, always drowning in the canals.
There's definitely something going on. But like I said, this is the thing. Yeah. There's certain people that are still out there in the world doing crazy things. And even in today's society with cameras and all the things and how we live in society, are managing to get away with these horrible things. It's just madness.
What is the Black Panther then? Are you talking about a serial killer called a Black Panther, or are you talking about a literal sightings of a Black Panther?
Serial killer. Basically, if you didn't know, He kidnapped, was it Sarah or something? An estate agent, I think it was, and held her hostage.
That's a
No,
lot.
it wasn't.
That's a
Wasn't
long
an estate
time ago.
agent. No, it was a businessman who owned some coaches, and I believe it was his daughter got kidnapped, and he was holding her for ransom. I believe it was that.
So he was holding his own daughter ransom.
No, he wasn't, but someone was holding his daughter ransom for money.
Ah, right, yeah, yeah.
So
And
they caught him though, did they? They caught him in the end.
Yeah, but by the time they found out where she was, it was too late. She died.
So not a serial killer, and wait, I did have a second question, but it's gone. Oh no, why the Black Panther?
I don't know why they named it that. I don't know.
Bit weird that.
But
No.
this
I
is the
reckon
thing as
that
well.
serial killers obviously watch a lot of other serial killers, you know, all the documentaries, because so they don't get caught or try not to get caught. So, you know, they see the mistakes of what other people have done.
Just watch CSI.
Where basically, I mean, you think people who are serial killers, they are generally completely retarded, or they're very highly intellect, and the ones that are higher intellect,
I would say generally they go on to the more intellect kind of scale, because like you
Yeah.
can have like psychopaths, and like apparently there's like 1 to some % of people that range on the psychopathic scale that are in the highest positions of power, whether it be business or whatever. There's like certain things that you can take about that separates you from being somebody that goes down different paths.
Yeah.
But even with that though, it's sometimes it's quite a fine line, and it can be the slightest thing that separates people from, let's say, being a very successful businessman, very successful corporate lawyer, whatever, from going down the completely opposite route where they want to just kill everybody.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's
it's all
fascinating.
interesting.
But it's fascinating though, because I think it's because these people are so different from general normal people, and it does draw you in. You want to like, well, why do these people do what they do? What makes them tick? How can you diagnose such a thing? Could you stop somebody from being that way, or is it born that way? Do you know what I mean? And it does. And like,
Yeah, they've said that many times in a lot of documentaries.
But that's the thing. It's
Hang on.
Can you predict somebody from whatever it is, like how they're going to turn out? And it is a big fight against nature versus nurture, in a sense.
Bucharest, my God, you've claim to fame there. A serial killer, he fixed his television. The television of a serial killer just before they got him. Well, you're lucky he didn't bloody get you, mate. You know, he's like, come in, fix my television, never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Crazy. Isn't it?
Definitely.
He's scary.
Peter Tobin. I'm going to look him up now because I just want to know the face of who it was.
Peter
You
Tobin.
fixed the television. Peter Tobin.
But those are the mad stories, like with the people that have interactions with certain things, like especially like even in the Yorkshire area, the people that have dealt with like the Yorkshire Ripper, that dealt with the crossbow cannibal killer, and all the other people, they've dealt with them, they've seen them in prison. Well, they weren't a target. Do you know what I mean? Nothing happened to them. Just general thing. They just go about their daily lives, and you just think, wow, it's madness.
I think the thing that confuses me, all these bloody groupies that decided to declare all their love for them, and you're like, really? Are you fucking so stupid?
But it is a claim to fame, you know what I mean? Like, they're famous for doing whatever. Oh my God, there's nobody like this guy. Please take my love and soul and all that kind of stuff. But the thing with that as well, with the groupies, like, oh, they ever get released? Well, they could take me too. Like, until it happens.
Serial killer Peter Moore. I don't know who that one is. Well, in one of the Hell on Earths, I think they pointed out, I might have heard this somewhere, but I kind of like, it jogged my memory. They said that in like Broadmoor or somewhere where, what's the name now? That Moore's, there's Ian Sutcliffe and Myra Hindley.
Yeah.
Myra Hindley ended up getting married or something, becoming the girlfriend or getting married to what's her name, the Gloucestershire killer, the serial killer Rosemary West. Yeah, they got married or something. They got married and then they had an argument over who was the most famous serial killer and who was the best, like, you know.
But
And
again,
it was like,
it's
what
like
the
it's like a
fuck?
different claim to fame. That like
Yeah.
if you go down that route, are you going to stop people like, I'm going to fade away, or is like, how relevant are these people going to stay? And it's like, well, that's your claim to fame. That's the claim to thing. Let's push it to how it is. Like, for example, if they didn't really, like, I'll give you an example. The Moors murderers, if they weren't bothered about holding secrets and all, they would have released and told you where all the bodies were. They would have given those like respite to the families. They never did, and
No.
that's because
They want
And
it to
it's
be as bad
sickening.
as possible, even
That's
now.
it.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah,
sickening.
I think I know all about. I think I know all about people who just won't give up and want to fucking keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going.
Oh,
Yeah, because
yeah.
I got a bloody court with one of them soon, and it's like, yeah, they want it to be as bad as they can.
Hey,
You know,
I'm
even
dealing
though
with,
they,
I'm dealing with my
yeah,
own. I'm dealing with my own, and I'm telling you now, they're gonna eat their words. Oh boy.
It's like, well, no one says they want to be infamous.
yeah, but at the end of the day, I mean, like, you know, being an internet troll of the secret vault is not exactly going to make you frigging famous, is it?
But each has their own
No.
claim of fame and why apparently they do their own thing and whatever brings them joy. But at the end of the day, eventually it all comes to head, and that's what I've been saying to all the people that have been going after me for my shit, and I've been like, and now because I've started to release the actual truth on stuff, eat your words. Eat your words. Eat your own words from your own mouth and watch it all fall apart. And that's
I
what
think
it is.
it's all about obsession. Even with these people who are doing this shit now, you know, they're obsessed. They're obsessed with trolling, or they're obsessed because they don't like me. But it's like these killers; they're obsessed with killing, you know. And
But
it's
then,
like,
again, why?
it's
Why
like
do
a-
they?
like pe-
Why do people have to be that way though? Why can't they just be just normal people?
Because
it's like,
there's
you
no
know,
such thing as normal.
burglars
Okay,
will
okay,
keep
sorry.
burgling. They'll keep
sorry,
breaking into houses even though they've been caught, and they'll
I
do it
need to- I
again
need
because
to
they love
rephrase
they
that.
love the thrill. They love the thrill of it. And then, you know, like, yeah, pedophiles, you know, they catch them, you stick them in jail, they get out, they do it straight. They just straight away, they just do it straight again. You know,
Hey,
it's
Jackie,
just
I
like,
need to rephrase that.
yeah.
Why can't people just follow normal, acceptable society rules and just be following the general social norm?
Well,
Is that better?
people
Is that better? Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that the more clinical better term?
But psychologically, they can't.
Still not going to work. No. They've
people
got
want to be
something
different,
going on in
don't
there.
they? Everyone wants
Well,
to be
that's
Not
it,
just
their
that.
own
They've got
person.
something going on.
That's it. They've got something going on. There's something not right, and you're like,
Yeah, I think it takes a lot to be evil. I mean, you know, these serial killers, you know, they're not right in the head as what we call them. They've got like some issues there or whatever. But you look at a lot of their backstories. Not all of them, but a lot of them. They've been abused as kids. They've had a bad upbringing. All manner of problems.
but
They might
Bengals,
have been a bit of a issue at school,
before
but
you
then
go
some of them are absolutely normal until one day they go, you know what? They snap and that's it. They start taking people out.
But Mr. Bengals,
That's more worrying.
before you go on to that, though, there's like separate side of that. However, some of the most successful people in the world are
Will's gone.
like they're literally
We've lost Will.
psychopaths. They are known like, you know, I mean, they are described as psychopaths, physically and mentally. That's how it is. But they are the most successful people in the world. And this is why people follow them. This is why people. Do you know what I mean? It's such a weird kind of scale of like. It's just fascinating how humans are different and how people work differently. I think. Like it's crazy, but like how us as a species are so different from each other, based on many different factors and what can contribute to different things.
I was down at the Verne prison the other day. I wasn't there for the prison, but I was there for a bunker, which is right next to the prison. The MOD had this underground bunker, but you know, I went around the grounds of the prison to kind of, because there's other bunkers there and bits and pieces. So, but speaking to the people who owned the bunker, the one I was interested in, they knew a lot of stuff about all that area, and I said, oh, you know, can you get in the underground bits? Because people had, when this prison shut down for a couple of weeks, they'd gone in and filmed underground. And she said, no, don't try it. She told me some horror stories about people who got caught doing it. So I'm not going to do it. I was thinking about it. I was thinking, ooh, I could put my rope ladder down there and I could get into that little tunnel. It's like, no, it's all, there's guards everywhere apparently. So I'd be like, I'd get in there and I would be fucking grabbed. So it was like bad idea. But I was lucky. I spoke to them. They told me not to do it. But what they did tell me, which was interesting, was the prison is now 100% apparently paedophiles. That's all that's in that prison is paedophiles.
I mean,
so
maybe that's the best bit because, like,
Yeah.
but like maybe that's the best thing for them because at the end of the day, if you mix them with the general prison populace, they don't like paedophiles and they do tend to take them out.
Yes.
Good. They deserve
She
it.
did say that it was a
like,
very.
we all have our own opinions on that, but what I'm saying is, in terms of like in general safety, nobody wants harm. I mean, even though the paedophiles, you know, like, do you know what I mean? There's a difference between a person there and then being shanked to death.
Yeah.
In the most brutal kind of fashion. It's not what prisons are made for.
It's a weird one though because in terms of how prisons go, I mean, we got a prison down the road from us here called Earlstoke, and you know, you drive past it, you'd hardly even know it was there. You know, it's kind of like you could see a wall as you drive past it. And there's like in Bristol, I went to visit a friend of mine who was in jail in Bristol, and I mean, you know, again, it's very nondescript. It's like council houses all around it. You know, it's like not nondescript. You know, you wouldn't bat an eyelid at it being there really. But however, the Verne prison is very strange because I mean, you've got this island and it goes up very steeply to like almost like a castle. It's like a castle of just sort of.
Yeah.
The prison is on the top, and you've got to go up, drive this windy road, and then you've got to go up through this little archway, and it's got a light, you know, like you know, sort of like traffic lights to let you go through, and you come up, and you're in the grounds of the prison, like you know, you're in it, you know, and it's like they've got a cafeteria. You can have food. The people will come out and make you food. I'm going to go up there in the week. Actually, I'm going to film it, and I probably won't be allowed to film inside the cafeteria area because there's prisoners actually serving you food. But I'm going to say to them, look, you know, I run a YouTube channel. I would love to film the fact that you can get food here because I think it's really quite interesting. The fact that it's one of the weirdest cafes you'll ever go in your life because you got prisoners serving you food. And most of them are paedophiles. So if you want to go and have the strangest breakfast of your life, right? Come and get served breakfast by some paedophiles in a like a bloody castle on the top of a hill. You know what I mean? That's going to be a weird one. There we see. That's my attempt at like humor in along the lines of Hell on Earth. It's going to be like Hell on Earth. You want to get down here, boys? You like your serial killers and your fucking weirdos? You can have them serving you some food, boys. Get down here,
Mr. Volley. I've actually got some proper spy glasses, which actually can record. You can't even tell that they're fucking glasses. I've not used them.
Ah, that's true. You're right.
I do.
You're right.
I've got some proper glasses. They'll be around here somewhere. But at the end of the day, you can't even actually tell that they're actual spy glasses. Look into that because I tell you now, no permission needed, no permission. You know what I mean? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So,
yes,
something
I do agree.
You know,
I do agree with you.
True.
I do agree with you. Yeah.
So
I just thought it'd be the weirdest meal ever. Like, yeah, the weirdest sort of food ever. It'd be like the food tastes all right, but I'm just not sure about the people who cooked it for me. but it tastes like normal food. It's
I'd be a bit sauced.
Oh wait! Tastes like normal food with child's tears mixed in between.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Jackie. But I went to San Francisco. I can't remember the fucking name because my brain's not working properly. But the famous place. I saw the prison there.
Alcatraz.
That's the one. And again, crazy. There's some crazy locations for prisons where you're like, yo, how can these people ever escape these kind of places? I honestly feel bad for, like, you know when you've got prisons in the UK. No, but you've got prisons in the UK where they're built next to people's houses. You think, oh God, if anybody ever escaped, then Jesus Christ, what are you going to do? Like, imagine 1,000 paedophiles getting out. Do you know what I mean? It's not the most desirable location.
Well, Steve Arnold says, was Gary Glitter? Apparently, I said, apparently, because this is how the conversation started. I said, apparently, Will's back. Hey.
Hello.
He's coming back.
Oh, Will.
Yay.
I think the internet glitched out or something. It just went blip.
Oh.
It's all right. We're just talking about paedophilia at the moment, mate. I hope you don't mind.
Serial killers and stuff.
No. We just, one of the places I went happens to be a prison. I was told that they're all paedophiles in this prison. It just turned out where I was exploring, and I said, because conversation started by me saying, apparently Gary Glitter's in there, and I was told, yeah, not anymore. He's been moved somewhere else.
Is that where you went and done the bunker?
The Verne prison on Portland. It's an island, not Portland, Oregon. Portland in Weymouth. So yeah. And I thought it was kind of weird because where I was, literally, there's the wall, and you just think like over that wall, and only a few steps, and Gary Glitter's in a cell. You know what I mean? I find that quite weird. Like, you just think there's a wall, right? And I mean, there are thousands of paedophiles across that wall right now, just there. And I'm like, I'm standing next to this wall, and there's just 1,000 paedophiles on the other side of that wall. And you imagine all the pain and hurt and all the bollocks that's gone on there. And that's just on the other side of that wall.
Well, what they've caused anyway.
Yeah.
On the other side of the wall, yeah.
A lot of these locations we've gone to have been closed down because of what those people across that wall have done. Literally, the reason they've closed these places down is because of just extreme embarrassment, because for 20 odd years or something, headmaster has been doing this to children, and, and it's like a lot of these locations, they're just like quietly close them down because they don't want, they don't want any record of these places having existed. They'd rather just wipe them out quietly, these buildings. And it's because of people who are like stuck in just over that wall. And I haven't mentioned it in my bunker video because I don't think it fits with a bunker video. But when I go back, I'm going to kind of talk about that because I think it's a very strange feeling being that close.
Yeah.
Like they're just there, they're right there.
Yeah, I remember the video that you talked about, and you went up to the car park, and there was like a old cobble wall there, and some iron gates, and you went, "That's an old prison, that." I was going to ask you whether it's an active prison, but obviously you're talking about it now and telling everyone what's what. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, it's an active prison, and I don't know too much about the prison itself, but I mean, I've got damn good drone footage of it. And it does look a bit archaic. I mean, it doesn't look very modern, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, you don't want it to look nice for them bloody arseholes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a prison made inside a fortress. It's a fortress, on the top of a hill.
Good.
And it's got like archways where you'd have gun emplacements and things like that. And it's a jail inside that. So like they're looking out at fortress walls, and looking out their windows and whatever they've got, and looking at fortress, and they're on top of like an island. It must be a strange feeling to be in that prison because of where it is, because it's a peculiar prison. It's in a fortress location on the top of a hill. It's very windswept. It's very windy. It's like, yeah. I mean, the only thing I could compare that would be any more crazy would be like Stalag something, what those escape, was it Where Eagles Dare? That would be like one up from this, Where Eagles Dare, it'd be like in the Swiss Alps, like, at the top of a mountain, then you've got a castle, and it's like, it's just so impenetrable and so hard to get to. And I'm thinking like, and that's where you put all the pedophiles. It's like that to me. It's like, because I know movies exaggerate things, but in terms of like, this is a real prison in quite a weird location, and that's where they put all the pedophiles. Yeah.
Well, they could stay there then, can't they?
Yeah.
God help any child that visits.
Well, I
No,
don't think there's many kids. I
don't.
don't think there's many kids go up there.
No,
I doubt
they won't
it.
be allowed. Not fucking near them losers.
No.
I mean, it is. It's on its own. It's up a really long sort of road, and the road only goes to one place. It goes to the prison. There's nowhere else. You can't walk around it or mess about. But when you get into the prison compound, you can park your car up, and there are some public houses up there, believe it or not. But I think they were originally sold to the people who worked in the prison. But because they got sold to the people who work in the prison, then they got sold to people who don't work in the prison. So now what they didn't want to happen was like, now there's people living up there that have nothing to do with the prison, because they kind of got out of their hands. You know, the houses eventually now they're in public hands now. You know,
Who the fuck would buy, unless you work there, who
Surely
the
that
fuck would buy a
surely that
house?
would put people off, though.
I tell you
Yeah.
though, I tell you, you got to see the view that these houses have got.
Wow.
I mean, it's the view.
Amazing
die
view.
for.
Amazing
It's
view.
like it's right on the edge of
Pedophiles.
right on the edge. Well, the prison's behind you. You know, the prison's behind you. But like your view out across the bay and Weymouth, and you've just got a cliff drop off the edge. So you've got like it's just like what, you know, that view. I mean, it is a house to die for, really,
Hey,
in terms of view. But you've got a prison behind you. You know what I mean? So
Hey, darling. I know we've got 3 kids and we've got to think about our future. This view is amazing. But just about 100 paedophiles away. Don't just forget about that. I just want you to look at the view outside there, because I mean, you know, it's very unlikely. Just paedophiles look. Look at the view. Wow, to die for no paedophiles.
Yeah. It's not just that though. It's not just the prison. If you get a view like that, obviously you're open to the weather and the wind and fair enough. You get the nice view, but do you pay for it in winter and stuff like that?
A view
I'm
like
sure
that,
you will do.
A view like that, who cares about paedophiles? I mean, you're picking your spot.
Yeah. Do you want me to show just so because people don't understand people got no idea what we're talking about? Do you want me to show you what we're talking about? I'll just quickly show you a 3-dimensional map of it so people can see what we're talking about, because it is a crazy location, right? I mean, if you don't know this, right, I'll show it to you very quickly.
I'll get you up on big screen.
There you go, Right. So I got Google Earth. Can you see Google Earth now?
Oh, no. Wrong screen. 1 minute.
Oh, there you go. Spanner.
Yeah. Right. This is the Isle. This is the Isle of Portland, right? And down here is Portland Bill Lighthouse, which is famous, Portland Bill. But it's cut off from the mainland. It's kind of got this sandbank.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's a weird one because I believe this sand here blew up one night and created like the causeway, but it was like I believe at different times it's actually the elements have blown this sand away as well. So it's kind of got a bit of reinforcement there now. But anyway, it's a military port. This is all the military port down here. And if you have a look at if I tilt it sideways, can you see how it's like a big abutment, like this big sort of cliffy area, and it go it's quite steep. It's quite steep.
It's quite good that they got the military protecting the paedophiles in this certain spot, just because to stop them from going out.
Yeah. So basically, what you got is all the military ships and things. Now it's not such a military port anymore. It's more, but then you come up on this area and you got council houses beneath it, and you actually drive through. You drive through the council houses and you see there's just like where is it now? You drive up through these houses and there's just one road that takes you all the way, and then it becomes just one road, and you go all the way up there and you zigzag up the road. So it's like something out of a movie, you know. It's like you zigzag, and now you can't see it's cut away into the rock. So the road is cut away into the rock, right? So you drive up there. And then it zigs around one last time. You get a great view off the edge here, a great view off the edge. But then it goes, the only way is through this porthole. And you go through the porthole, and it's scary because you think like, shit, am I going to get pounced on for coming into the prison? But no, actually, you're not in the prison, so you are allowed to drive up here. You can drive up here, and you come through here.
There, so yeah.
Yeah, but that's where the public car park is. But that's where the prison starts. It's all inside these walls. So have a look at that. Look at these blocks. Are really old. Look.
Wow.
Those old blocks. Yeah.
So what you're saying to me right now is I should potentially, for this kind of amazing view, because it looks amazing, I should try and maybe think about either sacrificing my child's health and well-being, or Like, you know what I mean?
No, you can visit for the day, and you can go and have the paedophile meal, mate. You know,
Paedophile meal
just
and
have the
paedophile view, paedophile meal. I'm down for that.
Just if your other half doesn't mind the paedophile meal, then maybe she'll go for one of these houses.
Maybe I won't tell her. Like, that's the best bet to do.
But look at this. Look at a place to live. There's 3 houses. Look at this, right?
It looks amazing.
Right. And look at that, right? And look at you. It drops off the back of your house. Drops off. Look at the drop down the edge. Look at that cliff.
No, that is beautiful. That is. Beautiful.
It's a cliff off the back of your house, and look at the
talk to the
view.
missus and see what she feels about this place.
The view of all of that, including all the causeway that goes up to the mainland. There, so
it is nice. It is
the
nice.
view is stunning. Yeah, up there. Look, and you're right next to the radar dome. Look, and your house is up there. And that's the cliff, and that's your view. But what I'm saying is, isn't it weird that all the paedophiles are up here on top in Stalag 19, you know, where the eagle's there and all that? They're all up here in this like wacky sort of prison.
The place is amazing. It's just a shame about all the paedophiles.
Yeah.
Is that a moat there as well?
It's got a moat, yeah. It's got a moat. That's the moat.
Cool. I mean, if a paedophile wants to get hold of a child, I don't think a moat's going to stop it.
And that's the moat as well. And what I was thinking, right? So if you're thinking what I'm thinking, right? Don't try this. But what I'm thinking is, see, there's a doorway there. Right? Yeah. It's a doorway, and I thought, I can get my ladder down on the edge, off the edge here, and I can go in there and I can have a look around in these bits. No, not a good idea. There's also another doorway around here, so I'm going to show you because I'm not doing it right. Yeah. There's another doorway there, but the moment you go,
bars on there.
Well, it might be, but the thing is, they might want to catch you as well. Like, you know, they might want to.
Well, let's hope you caught like the paedophiles, because that's not a good situation.
So is that the story they're telling you? Is that the story they're telling you about you going in there? If you go in there, you end up getting caught by the guards and stuff.
I have it on good. Put it like this, right? I can't tell you how I know this, right? But I can tell. I've been informed on good authority that you will be caught very quickly if you go anywhere in this moat area.
Well, it depends on how much balls you've got, though. Like, we all know the rules on certain things, and like I'm going to ask you a question.
You've got, it's whether you get caught. Like, you will get caught.
No, but it's not even that. Like some people like to go and explore places knowing they're going to get caught. Who gives a shit? Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
but it's almost like you're trying to break into a prison, so it's like, a little bit different.
If it's open access, everybody knows the rules. Like, we know the rules, so it's about what you can get away with in a situation before it goes too far.
Yeah, and if anybody's as a preview, look, that's actually the bunker. I've done some 3-dimensional graphics, which you're going to see in my video when it comes up. But that is the tunnel down to the bunker, right? And that's where the bunker is. That's the bunker along there, and it's actually part of the moat, because they built it up. See that there?
Yeah,
that's the bunker. That's the bunker, because the moat behind it is deeper. The bunker is actually here. They built it up from the moat to hide it.
It's an impressive place, though.
So it's a very unusual location, and this is the people who own it have this farm. This is their farm on top.
So whilst we're doing this, I've got a question for you, Mr. Volty, and we'll see how you feel on it, because you use certain things.
Anyway, I'll stop sharing that now. So yeah, there you go.
So we all know, like, when we're dealing with the coppers and all the general stuff and how it is, and they like to use, like, obviously ask the questions of how things are and looking for tools that you're going to use and whatnot. What would you say in terms of using ladders as a tool, or like, say, I always say. But I've
had my ladders in the car many times. Sorry, mate. Yeah, go on.
So I always say, for me personally, I mean, I'm a climber anyway. So at the end of the day, like, because I've been questioned by coppers in the past and certain things, and they're asking me, why you got fucking gloves? It's fucking cold, mate. Why you got lights? It's dark. Do you know what I mean? Simple fucking questions. Idiot questions is how it is. But again, with ladders and all the other stuff, it's like about bringing tools which would technically, in my opinion, and how certain coppers would use that, as coming equipped. Correct or not?
I think what it is, it's not just going equipped. It's going equipped because you were going to do burglary. Going equipped to do urbex is not burglary. So,
I agree.
you can have all the tools you want, and I do have quite an assortment of tools in my car. I always have, you know, because I just don't like breaking down and not having anything I can bloody work with. So I've got everything, you know, from saws through to bloody, you know, socket sets. I got full electrical things, soldering equipment. I got
Mr. Volume. Just before you carry on, so we all know, in terms of in the law and everything like that, it is actually guilty till proven innocent. That's just generally how it is, until you get to the stage where they actually fucking listen to you. So the whole point is, I think the ladders is quite a fine point. It's where it's just like, right, well, technically, you are going equipped, you are going into access areas that you shouldn't be able to access from general things on the ground. I mean, like me personally, if I'm on a site and I can use something to access a higher floor, I'm using stuff that I'm finding on site. Ladders on site, boom, I'm going to use those because they're on site, they're not mine. But again, it's like where, like, how do you basically say, okay, I've got these ladders on me. Yes, it's a safety point of view as well. You can even go from that aspect. It's a safety point of view for my own health and safety and all the other stuff. But where it can't be used against you, and that's like, how do you put the line on that? Because the copper's job is to use it against you.
I mean, we got caught by the police after using the ladder to climb up, and we were on top of a court, you know, but it was an abandoned court, you know, but we hadn't done anything. We didn't have any tools on us to break in, you know, so we had the ladder to climb up a building. So we were hoping that there would be an open window or something. There wasn't, you know, but you know, using the ladder to get in through an open window, I go by, I don't know if it's correct, but I always go by the kind of the saying that an open door is an invitation. So an open gate is an invitation as well. So like,
however, so this is the thing. This is why, because there's many things that come in between this as well, which is obviously the enclosed premises, which is the vagrancy fucking act. And what some coppers, they can't pursue it really, but they'll still hold you over it if they want to. And again, it's a ridiculous, archaic law and whatnot. But like, again, it's kind of like, how much drama do you want to deal with in those situations? You know what I mean? Like, what can you do to minimize that without? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think if I had a history of breaking in and being caught for breaking into places and stealing things,
well, you know,
then
your car
amount of need.
You know, your car reg and everything else will be instantly hit. Like, no, you can go anywhere else again. That's how it is.
Well, it does anyway. But the thing is, I think it's different reasons for that. But the thing is, they're interested in what have I got in my car. They're interested in me and what am I doing. They're very interested in me and what's in my car, and they're very interested in what's in my house, and they're very interested in what's on my hard drives. I mean, they've made all this very clear. They're very interested, but they've never really done anything with anything they've ever seen.
What's on the hard drive that's unspeakable? I don't get
well,
it.
there's nothing, but that's the point. You know, it's like they take my hard drives, they fuck around with them, they give them back. You know what I mean? And I mean, it's been that
makes no sense, though. It makes no sense.
It does, because there's nothing wrong. No, there's. Oh, I see what you mean. It makes no sense why they keep doing it, but then there are people who put something on the computer system to say, "Get this fucking prick."
No, but like even from like from like a law point of view, from just like any kind of point of view, unless you're doing something extremely dodgy, it makes no fucking sense. You know what I mean? They'd have to catch something on you to begin with. Like, I'm not. By the way, I'm not suggesting this. By the way, I'm using it as an example. Let's say they're going to search you, and suddenly it's full of child porn and all the other stuff. It isn't, as far as I'm aware. Like,
well, I would have been done for it by now. Yeah,
precisely.
It was.
Yeah,
it wouldn't just. It just wouldn't continue and continue and continue. You wouldn't have that kind of thing. There's no reason to enter somebody's home and premise under those kind of things. Makes no sense.
Yeah, but
how they can even get away with that without, like, surely you are like suing. You've got to be doing something.
The sad fact which I found out about, and if anybody doesn't know this, beware, because you think, oh, they've got to have a warrant to come in my house and search my house.
No, they do. No, they do.
No. Not in there.
Is it? Wait, you're from Wales, though, aren't you? Is it different in Wales?
Here's how they get around it, right? And I've learned this the hard way. Here's how they get around it, right? And trust me, this is what will happen to you if you get arrested. When you're in custody, they can go in your house without a warrant because you're in custody. Yeah? They don't need a warrant because you're in custody. Because you're in custody, they have the right to search your premises. They don't have to have a warrant.
Surely you're not in custody every time.
I have been a number of times, yes.
Oh, so no, that makes no sense.
And they've come in every time I've been in custody. They come in my house, which to me is a piss take. But you know,
I thought, like, is it not within like 20?
They seem very desperate to come in my house, so they
is it
fucking
28
do.
to 48 hours before like they have to release you? They can't enter your premises until they have that kind of thing. Surely.
No, they do.
No.
Because the authorization to search your premises is given by the sergeant in charge. And the sergeant in charge will be the sergeant there in the custody suite. So say, for instance, now, right, I'm just giving you an example, right? Somebody said, he shouted in my face and I got scared. So they arrest you for harassment, right? Well, surely harassment is not enough to really warrant going in and searching your house. But they will.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Because
they can.
Yeah.
Because they can.
Like I studied law. I studied law and I did a bunch of other stuff. No, I studied law and a bunch of other stuff. I'll look into this and I'll tell you fucking now. That can't be right. I promise you.
It doesn't sound right to me, but every single time they've authorized a search based on the fact that I'm in custody.
No.
If I wasn't in custody, they would have to have a warrant. But the moment you become in custody,
I promise you this
it's
right
out
now.
the window.
Right, Mr. Volty.
Yeah.
I promise you this right now. I studied law and I've done a bunch of other stuff, right? Let me just look into it. So, like, because from the stories I've heard that you've said and other things, it just sounds so wrong. Do you know what I mean?
It seems pretty wrong to me, which is why I've got 3 bloody complaints into the police at the moment.
That's what I mean. Like I said,
yeah.
like as soon as I get a bit of free time and I've got a bit of time coming, let me just look into it a bit and let me talk to a few homies that do study law and all stuff. Let me just have a word and just say, again, the same situation you just said. I'm like, yo, homie, I just heard my homie talk about this and what's the deal? And do you know what I mean? Because it just sounds awfully wrong. I thought it was like, where are you from? Not in a weird way. I thought you were Wales, but you apparently not.
There we are. Mick J said they pulled things out in his interview that they found in his house. So
no,
the fact is
they actually do it because they've done it to me.
Question you. They were going to come in the house. They could have even happened. Right, we were on top of a court in near Southampton, right? And we were there. We went up with a ladder. They came with a police helicopter. They got us. They were towing my car away before they'd even found us. So how did they know who I was? How did they know where my car was? Right? They were towing it away. Then they get us and they go, "Don't talk to us. Don't talk to us." And I said, "Yeah, but the thing is, I want to tell you we're urban." "No, don't talk to us. Don't talk to us," because they didn't want us to explain what we were doing.
Are you just like in a dodgy area? I don't.
No. You've got to understand. I'm starting to realize now. If you have an opportunity to say to them, "Hang on a minute, I'm an urbexer. Look, a camera. Would you like to see the footage? Would you like to see my card? Would you like to see my YouTube channel?" They go, "Oh, he's an urbexer." They don't want to know because they want to get you in the cells. Because once you're in the cells, they know they can keep you for up to 24 hours, right? During which time they can go and raid your house. And that's what it's all about.
I don't know. Maybe
this is the game they play. This is the game they play.
Police force. Maybe the police force in my area is all right. Then I don't understand. I'm just saying.
Fuck off! All the police are the same.
No, but no, all the police are the
I've
same.
I've seen it many times now, mate. It's the same drill. We had it in Torquay, right? They came into a building like that, right? They just didn't ask any questions. You're under arrest, and we said, "Hang on, can we just tell you, no, don't talk to us, don't talk to us." And I'm like, "Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to go to the cells. I don't want to spend the night in the cells. Don't talk to us. Don't talk to us." Again, and I said, "Yeah, but the thing is, are we going to get?" And you say to them, "Am I going to get a chance to have a chat with you when we're in the cell, so we can get out of the cells really quickly?" And they go, "Yes, you will. You'll be able to." You get in the cells, they don't want to know you.
No, but like
again,
I know.
Can leave you overnight till the morning. And 9 o'clock comes when normal working hours and fucking everyone's coming to work, and then they come into work and suddenly look at your file.
Again,
and then by about lunchtime, they're interviewing you, right? But they've already probably been on their way to your house before that. Before they've even interviewed you, they're on their way to your fucking house with your keys that they nicked out of your pocket, and they're fucking there. Let's get in his house.
What I'm saying to you is, like, I don't. This is why I was trying to say which area you're from, because I know like Welsh police, Scottish police, and English police deal with. They have different laws and different things that. Do you know what I mean? So it is quite different in certain. I mean, all police are the same, but they deal with things in different ways. Do you know what I mean? What in terms of they're allowed to get away with as well.
I've just looked something up, guys. Right, under pace 32, the police are allowed to if you've been arrested and they think that you basically there may be something at your house leads to your arrest. So they think you've nicked something. Basically, they can do it without a warrant. It's all under pace, apparently.
I would agree with you, but the thing is, they would have to. It's like, how can I put something in my house that's from this crime that you've just arrested me for? Because I'm with you now. I'm with you now. So what they're doing, right? I mean, in reality, what they're actually up to is they go into your house to see if they can find anything that's going to make it shit stick to you, because they know they're always on fucking dodgy grounds when they arrest you anyway. Yeah. So what they're doing is they go into your house to see, can we find some drugs, or can we find some fucking dodgy shit? Let's take his hard drives. That's the number one fucking thing. They love doing it. They fucking take everyone's hard drives. So you could have just punched somebody in the face, in a pub. They arrest you. They go back to your house. They take your fucking computer. Why? They can. And it's got nothing to do with the crime. It's got nothing to do with the crime of punching somebody. They'll take your computers away.
I've never heard this before.
And then they go through them, fishing to try and see if is there any porn.
Well, what's happened now?
Oh dear.
I don't know what happened there with Matt. It's happened to me before today. They came round to my house. You just froze, Matt, for some reason.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. I didn't even think I was back then. I was just like...
No, yes. And it's like, hang on, what's happened?
You carry on. I'm going to go get another beer. I'll listen to you whilst you're carrying on. Go on.
It's happened to me in the past. They came round to my house and they came in and looking for other stuff. Like, obviously, you're here for something else, and why are you doing this? I've let you in on my own free will.
Why are you letting them in?
Like that. It's a long story. I don't want to go through all that.
No, sorry. I like the question things.
But even before that, when I lived at my mum's, Matt saying, my car was listed by the police. Each time I went out in the car, got pulled 3 or 4 times a day. Yeah, and if they did, I'd find like a wanted lad in the car for something, say unpaid fine or whatever. I don't know, whatever they wanted for. They'd arrest me as well and take us into custody to do checks, and then they go out round to my house. But because it wasn't my house, they couldn't go in and search the house. The only thing they could do is go in and search my bedroom where I was resident in my mum's house.
But it seems
when they do get a grudge against you, they do put you on the books and target you. Right. So I'm talking from my own experience.
Again, it seems madness to me. Like I've had the coppers around my house, and I've literally had to school them in the fucking law. Like I've had to say, like I've had them go like talking about fucking abandoned places and like these. And I usually say to the people that have had these issues that have been reported upon, it's basically, number one, you have to go for YouTube. I've not committed a criminal act. So if these people have problems, go for YouTube, go do your stuff. It's a civil issue. If you have a problem, you want something to remove, go for YouTube. It's nothing to do with that. If I decide to remove something, it's my own personal thing to do that if I want to. I don't have to do anything. And I even had people from Barnsley, some cops from Barnsley come over and they fucking drive. They're like, we don't know why we're here. And I'm like, well, I'll tell you why you're here. You've had fucking idiots report. Here's all the messages and abuse they've sent me. Here you go. And at the end of the day, I don't have to do anything. I will not be removing this video, and it's done very well. At the end of the day, I've not broken any laws. I've not done anything. I've shown you how I've gained entry, which is open access. I've shown you everything that I need. Do you know what I mean? Let them take it up with YouTube and all the other stuff, because that's what it is, a third-party company in America based on everything. That is it.
Interesting enough, reading this, I've got here, under section S18 PACE, so if a person's been arrested and is still at the police station, the police may search and enter the premises occupied or controlled by the person who's under arrest for the offence, and obviously could be tried under Crown Court or magistrates if it happens. If they have reasonable grounds for suspecting there is on the premises evidence that relates to the offence they think they've committed, or a similar offence which is connected or similar to the offence. So basically they're saying, well,
Okay,
They may be connected to some other crime that happened.
But put on that, like, so you've got to be arrested, surely. There's a difference.
Yeah, so if you're arrested, they will enter it. They've got the right to enter your house,
I've never been
because they
arrested.
could just turn around and go. Well, they could turn around and go, well, we think he might be involved in this other one, so we'll go and fucking check his house.
Well, they've got to have proof. They've got to have proof. They've got to like to put those charges against you and arrest you for that crime.
No,
well, it's suspicion.
You're already arrested.
Do you want me to make this?
They're just putting you out.
Do you want me to make this more?
That you're saying you're arrested for, but while they're doing that, they're searching for the other stuff. Know what I mean?
They're still going to charge you. They're still going to charge you. If they're going to arrest you, they're going to charge you, correct?
Like that incident what I was talking about. Yeah, they came round because an incident happened with my neighbour. They came round to mine, so obviously I thought nothing going to happen and all that, so let him in talking. So, yeah, no worries. Came back the next day saying, oh, it's about the incident yesterday, so let him in. They went, right, we're searching your house under and went through my house, and they actually found a couple of air rifles and tried pinning them as firearms and tried to give me 5 years for a load of fucking bullshit. So I know what I'm talking about. They do try and go through your house, see what they can pin on you, and then come back and have you
I think maybe I've been wise. Every time coppers have come to my house, I've been fucking bullshit. I've just gone like
I don't bullshit. Know what I mean?
The first time I had like the little one there, and I'm like, okay, we'll talk outside because I'm there holding my little one there, going, we'll talk outside here. You know what I mean? And the second time, like, well, we can either come in your house or you can go talk on the car. I'm like, we'll go talk in your copper car. Let's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it. Don't let them in your house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They go under.
I made a mistake by letting them in the house. You know what I mean? But if you get arrested and you've obviously been pinned on the system of pulling this guy, look for anything you can have him for. If they pull you and arrest you, of course they go through your house and then see what they can try and pin on you. Then
it just
that's
seems like
what Matt was saying. Simple. It's
what they try to do is they try to take a small situation which is quite nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then they go, let's just make sure we can find everything about this guy we possibly can, so we can make this into a big case, so we can fucking dump everything on this person. But the thing is, what starts off as something quite small, if you're unlucky and you've got something in your house you shouldn't have, right? I mean, what can start as something very fucking small can become something massive. Because, like, say, for instance, now you were growing cannabis in your house or something like that, and you had a few plants, then it would be a supply of cannabis.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, you know, it could have been just shouting at your neighbour. Now you're getting done as a drug dealer. You know what I mean? And it's like because they came in your house.
I haven't dealt with this kind of issue. Like, this is why I say that maybe like my force is all right, because I've dealt with the police and my force. And my area is all right. Do you know what I mean? Like, the police are not too bad. They've even given me lifts home many times when I've been drunk and all kinds of stuff. But again, it's just very strange to me to have that kind of thing. So
sometimes the police are reasonable and you can talk to them and they see sense.
It depends on the dude, though. Like,
you get young coppers, right, are pretty stupid and they just want to get you in the cells, right? Yeah. And like sometimes if the sergeant has said, right, we've got to get an arrest here because it looks good on numbers, like we've gone through the whole process. Once he tips the nod to all these youngsters, they're like, okay, and everyone jumps in line and they're going to arrest you whether you like it or not. And no matter how much you talk to them and explains that, no, we're arresting you. We're going through the whole thing. We want to go through the whole thing.
Again, you know? Mr. Volley, like I've dealt with people of all ages, copper wise, and all the other stuff, and like, do you know what I mean? Like, all I've ever had is good experiences, and it's weird saying that. Yeah. And again, I've only ever dealt with decent. I've even like winter storms come around. I've been in fucking back of cop cars and give me a lift home. I'm dealing with I'm drunk, passed out in the middle of an alley where they give me lifts home. Again, that sounds very strange. It is very strange as well. I nearly tried to fight 3 of them. It didn't. You know, it was weird. But, like, at the end of the day, I've only ever had generally good experiences with the police. I've only ever, do you know what I mean? Like, even when they come into my house and I'm talking to them and I'm telling them about what I do, when the questioners and all that stuff, I've never had any issues. It's, like, for me, I do find it quite fascinating that, like, your guys' experience is so different. And I don't know whether it's because of area or just the people that are behind it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I've said to people, right, who hang around me and know me, right, I said, like, the amount of times I've been stopped in my car is fucking unreal. To the point whereby if I'm driving down the road and I see a police car, I fucking get the shit out of there and I pull off the road and fucking hide, because I know that fucking driving past a police car probably means like 2 minutes time down the fucking road, whoomph up behind me, pulling me over. You know, because there's something on the computer system that says, get this fucking guy. And if they can, they will. And it's happened to me so many times. And people are like, "Oh, you're just being paranoid." And I've had people in the car with me enough times now, and it's happened enough times. And I said, I told you. I told you.
Sorry, yeah, that's my bad.
Yeah, you shouldn't be talking over him. It's a bit rude.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just... All right, sorry, I won't speak.
No, I'm just saying, right? It has happened to me so many times, right? I mean... Like, when I'm out at night, I'm quite paranoid now in the car, right? I'm quite paranoid because if I'm driving at night and I see headlights coming up fast behind me in the distance, right? I mean, like, I will just quickly, I do it as a matter of course, and it's unfortunate. I don't want to be paranoid, but I just know I've been pulled so many bloody times. If I'm seeing a car coming up behind me, because I drive quite fast, and there's a reason I drive fast, is so nobody can come up behind me. If they're coming up behind me, there's a...
Your sound's gone, Matt.
Again, right?
Matt, your sound.
Yeah, your sound's gone again on your mic.
By the way, like, just so you know, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just like, it's just because something's hit us, and I'm just trying to be like, oh, actually, it's just my brain going brief.
No, like you say, I used to get pulled about 3 or 4 times a day. The only time I did not get pulled is once I sold the car, I moved away from my mum's and got a new car. So hence my car wasn't at that address and stuff like that.
Hello?
So then,
Hello,
I can hear you. Yeah.
So then, I've stopped getting pulled for many years, and then something happened where they came round to my house and they found out who it was. And next thing, they tried to pin bleeding firearms on me. Know what I mean?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
No, we can't hear you, Matt.
No, you've gone again, Matt. But also, I think it's an idea. What they do is go round to your house, search your house, see what else they can actually pin on you. Then when it goes to court, or it goes through the books, it says, look, we've not just had him for this crime. We can say, look, we've cleared up another 2 or 3 or how many crimes they can pin you on you. Know what I mean? So it looks better for their books. So we don't know whether that's part of the reason they go around as a normal thing once you get arrested and stuff like that. I don't know.
7.
Yeah, now you're working.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gone again.
No, your sound is... Yeah,
it's like
it's breaking up.
Headphones.
Yeah, like So I'm not trying to be rude. It's like when I'm talking to people, I see it like as an active discussion. So do you know what I mean? Where people are all talking together and.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
You've got to give it a bit of time for other people to get in as well and get their point. Because sometimes...
I just want to say, I apologise if you think anything else. You speak as like, oh, something's hit me. Oh, I'm just trying to... Do you know what I mean?
No, there's sometimes, like, I'm sat here for about 4 or 5 minutes trying to say something, and then all of a sudden I can't get in.
I don't have that filter.
A few times.
So, like, I'm just going to put that out there. I don't have that filter. So, like, sometimes I'm like... But I'll literally go as soon as I'm like, oh shit. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're back, Matt. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Nice one.
I'm just checking to see if it's a loose wire on the back of the computer or something.
What were you saying?
Sounds like a broken wire.
So basically now, I mean, the way I've kind of done things since having all this shit is like, if it's late at night and I'm driving along and a police car passes me, I'll probably put my foot down and blast it so they'll never catch me up. Yeah. So I'm not driving crazy, but if one passes me, I'm out of there. Yeah. Because I don't want to meet him. Yeah. And if it's late at night, especially where I live, Wiltshire, it gets so quiet at night, you know, that there's only one car can go every half an hour, or, you know, like in some places I've been walking down roads and like one car's passed me in like half an hour. So when you see a police car, they're like, ooh, a car. And they not just because it's Matt Williams, right? It's not just because it's Matt Williams and we know his registration, right? It's because you're the only person about. So you just get the shit out of there really quickly because you know they're going to turn around, really quickly, and right, we got it now. Hello, sir. We'd just like to just check that you're not drunk driving, and no. So you get all that shit, right? It's just where I live, right? But then, right, AMPR and various other things, right? I mean, I've had all sorts of shit. I won't go into it here. I will down the line, but there's some stuff I'm not going to go into on this program. But trust me, right? I get pulled a lot, and it pisses me off. And because of this, I've got a number of complaints in against the police right now. And you know, but when I see police cars or when I see car headlights behind me, I'm out of there, you know. And it involves quite a bit of subterfuge, you know, like pulling off, turning me lights off, and they just drive past, and it's like, and then I'm looking, and I'm like, yeah, it was a police car, shit. And I'm like, the number of times I've got away with, like, you know, because I know they're coming, you know, and if they come up behind you, they'll check your reg, and they'll be like, this is thing, like, stop him on the system, like, you know. So yeah, so that's how I live my life, and it's not a very nice way to live your life, to be perfectly honest, having to constantly look over your shoulder like that. Right. And why did it happen? I put it down to Rudlow Manor and my investigation of military stuff. They don't like me, and they really don't like me now I'm doing this Urbex stuff, because basically I'm going, like, you know, go and have a look at old abandoned buildings, and they're like, oh, how dare he? It's like it's like a softer version of Ali Law. They don't like it, you know? They do not like it.
Yeah. It's like one time I was coming back from my girlfriend's in my car, and they had to go past the police station, and 2 police officers were getting in the car, and they both looked at my car as I drove past. So I knew what was going to happen. I thought they could come behind me. So I looked in my mirror, didn't come behind me. They came from the other street, and we came to a T-junction at the lights. And at the same time, the both lights were turned red for a matter of time, a split second or two. So I looked to my left, and they looked to their right, and was like eye to eye. And their lights changed to green, so they had to go forward. And I was in the right lane to turn right. But they were like, right, we'll go that way because he's turning right there. So I cancelled my turn signal and carried on going straight. This is like early hours in the morning. So I went further down the road, done the right, and then cutting through the council estate. So obviously I'm not on the main roads, and the police must have thought the same thing. He's gone down there. We won't catch him on the thing. He'll go down the council estate. And blow me, we drove past each other like that. Heads turned like that. Both heads just turned like I'm turning, looking at them, and they're looking at us. So yeah, I drove off, not breaking all speed limits and stuff. Got outside my mum's, reverse parked it straight in. Got in the house, closed the door. I said, "Them bastards are out there again." My mum was like, "What's going on?" I said, "The police are out there again." She went, "There's no one out there." I said, "Look, give it a second and let's see." Next thing, the police car turns up outside. And by the time I get to the front door, one's like this on the bonnet, feeling the bonnet whether it's hot or nothing. I said, what you doing touching my car? You want to know whether I've been out or not? You should know because you just seen me. Didn't you just get in a car from an East police station and follow me? One went yes and one went no. And I went, right. He just said, yeah, you said no. So that's a load of fucking bullshit. Fuck off and just slammed the door on him. Yeah. The next day, I got in the car straight away. Well, not straight away, but got in the car, got down the bottom of the street. My street must be about 50 yards long. And then turned onto the main road. Next thing, a police van pulls me. Boom, just like that. So, fucking coincidence or what? I don't think it's coincidence.
No, it's not coincidence, mate.
No.
So, what I was trying to say before is, like, don't you think, like, it's, like, kind of like a catch-22 in terms of, like, oh, you see a cop nearby and all the other stuff, and you're going to speed up and you're going to try and avoid that person, which instantly is going to make it look more suspicious in that kind do you know what I mean? Which is more likely for them to come into that kind of situation. It's like a situation that inadvertently that you are actually causing yourself because of the fear of what they have done and how, like, the police act in your area and how they are. It's kind of like drawing themselves to you. That's what I was just trying to, like, interrupt before.
No, Not really, because like you say, they came round to my house, didn't have a clue who it was at first. Know what I mean? About a total different incident altogether. I was the one who reported the incident, and they came round to my house. Yeah. Once the fact came round to my house, found out who it was, they came back the next day, and then tried pinning firearms on me and load of bullshit like that. So, yeah, I don't think so. I think something might have happened in the past. Might have had an argument with a copper or something, and they must have put us on a like a little list or put a
I just find it strange.
card and watch. Yeah, it's how it is.
To me.
It's just real life. You're not living your life yet. You're still young.
I mean,
I've pulled over. I've pulled over because I know a cop car's going to pull me. So I just pulled over and I wound my window down. I'm like, yes. And they just come up and they go, and I'm just, fucking loads of times, mate. And I'm just like, yes, in the window, like, yes. And I go, yeah, everything all right? So, and they go, yeah. And they're like looking at you like, yeah. Like, what does he, is he expecting us or something? And I'm like, you're going to, what do you want, you know?
You're literally driving and like behind you there's like a cop's just now, and you pulled over and they've just...
I just pulled over and I'm just like by the window like that. And the thing is, and you see him getting out, I always get out and I say hello to him, you know, because I think it's better that you get out and speak to him because it shows you're not like fucking hiding anything.
But they're expecting, that's mad. That's
mate,
weird.
you don't, you live in a very different life, you know, to what I'm experiencing and other people are experiencing.
Well, that's why it seems so mad to me. That's why I'm saying it just seems so weird.
Mate, I've had police make up stuff about me twice, right? And I lost my license for 6 months for apparently not wearing a safety belt. And I got my license taken off me for a safety belt.
Again, it just seems so. It just seems so. Again, different situations, different things. And this is why.
And I was wearing the safety belt, by the way, and that wasn't why they stopped me. It was because they followed me all the way from Wiltshire to Wales.
But this is why it's so mad, though.
Yeah,
it's like I live in my part of the country, and that's why I was saying like whichever you're from, is it different? Like I thought originally from Wales, is it different over there? How it is because the laws are a bit different. And
all right, you want to see you want to see freaky shit actually happening where it was caught on film. Freaky shit, right? Caught. Watch Exploring with Fighters video where I took them in the daytime to have a look around the Corsham area, right? And I said, I'm not in my car now, right? Or I think I was in their car because I said if I take my car, they'll know, right? I said, but if you're in your car, they won't necessarily know. So I said, like, I won't go around some of those areas, but if you do, I'll sort of hang back. But they were in their car. Anyway, we drove out away from Corsham. We just drove around. We didn't do anything. We just drove around Corsham, right? And then we were leaving, and we'd gone up some country lanes. We hadn't gone past any ANPR cameras that we knew of, because they have secret ones you can't see around Corsham, yeah? Right, they're hidden ones, and they've had them for donkey's years before anyone knew what ANPR was. They had them there, right? And I know this because I've gone to Corsham a few times, and they've just gone woomph onto my car. They knew exactly that I was in town, and they've just fucking boom, right? So anyway, I said, watch what happens if we go to Corsham. Watch what happens. So Dan Dixon was there. We drove up a lane, nondescript lane, and a fucking bloke pulls out in the car and blocks the lane in front of us. And he's just a member of the public.
Wow.
You know, he just blocks the road.
Is he
why?
Why is he a secret person to something else? Why?
And he said, Dan said, what's going on? And he goes, well, I want to know what you're doing up here. He goes, it's a fucking public road, mate. What's your problem? He goes, oh, well, people have been stealing stuff. And he goes, well, what do you think? You think I'm stealing stuff? Do you do this to all cars? You just stop all cars coming up your road? I mean, he's like, and he was making excuses. But the thing is, in the distance behind him was an old, disused military base. But, you know, it was like, that's Monk's Park, by the way, the one we took people down the other day. It's been, you know, that's Monk's Park. So this guy, right, was living next to Monk's Park. And we drove up the road, and we didn't stop. We drove up the road, turned around, and we came to come back. And it's a road, not on the base. It's a road, yeah. And this guy went, "What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?" Right?
So weird, though.
Right.
Yeah.
So we said, "Well, what's your problem? What's your problem? What's your problem?" And we drove on our way. Later on, then there was. I said, "You watch now. Something else is going to happen today, right?" We drove up through country lanes, not past any ANPRs. and we were nearly, we'd crossed over the M4, so we'd gone from the south of the M4 to the north of the M4, and all of a sudden, whoomph, loads of police cars surrounded Dan's car.
Why?
And they
Why
gave,
though?
they gave him a
Listen.
cock and bull. They gave him a cock and bull story about your car registration has been cloned and has been used in crimes in London. Bullshit.
Bullshit.
No, it hadn't. Yeah. But they also said, have you been in Corsham today? And he said, yeah. And they said, anything, anywhere like near like Corsham Computer Centre or anything like that. And we hadn't been, right? But they said they made that statement, yeah. So basically we knew it was connected with the fact that we've been to Corsham. Dan's car was known because a year previously he'd gone into an old bunker which is not connected to anything that's secret, yeah. He'd gone into a bunker and put a video on his channel. 1 year later, he's come back with me. We've driven around. We got stopped by somebody, which was weird. And the next thing, then, miles and miles away, 3 police cars have pounced us.
But listen,
Cock and bull story.
Madness, though. But again, very interesting to know.
And it happens. I'm telling you, when they put you on the system, like they put Dan and me, we're on the system, right? So when that happens, you're gonna get stopped.
So what you're saying is, like, if we go back to the same area, we need to go in, like, 7
different
unmarked cars and, like, yeah, okay,
yes.
it's cool, we'll get them.
Can I just say, Bucharest guided tours?
I'm just gonna.
Woohoo! He's got it right.
Yeah, he's got it right.
Really?
I remember that video as well with fighters. Yeah, it was armed police that turned up as well.
I mean, like, you know, you think that's not a faked video, you know what I mean? They're real cops, real police van with a real police dog, armed police, and they have chased us across country through lanes, yeah? And they found us. And I think they knew where we were way back, but they were staying back because they wanted to get more vehicles. They didn't want one vehicle to stop us. They wanted 2 or 3 because they wanted strength in numbers. So they were following us for a while, building up another police car and another police car. And they're like, right, go, go, go. Stop us. Bang, you know?
Yeah.
Because they wanted maximum impact because this is the sort of police they are. They're not normal police. They're the super secret police, you know? Yeah. And they said we're the Triforce unit. So basically they're wandering around all day long waiting for some sort of like criminal terrorism armed, you know, and they're like waiting for like the big thing, you know, and we were the big thing. All because we drove around near some military bases. Not did anything, just drove near there. And we were picked up on secret ANPR cameras. Not publicly seen, secret ANPR cameras you don't see. Yeah.
Do you reckon you've done everything around Corsham now?
I wouldn't mind being invited for a guided tour around the Corsham Computer Centre. My offer is still open for Corsham, for Rudlow Manor. If you want to take me round these places, I will hold it in good consideration for maybe giving you some slack and not publicising you anymore. But I think the time's gone for that one now, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, they're not going to fucking let me in. They let a load of people into Burlington once, right? That were researchers in this stuff, and they made sure I wasn't one of them because they were like nah 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 nah, and I made sure that it was nah 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 all the way back, and they've been nah 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 nah, fucking arresting me and fucking coming in my house ever since. But it's like I say fucking nah 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 back because now I've got fucking proof that you just keep fucking coming in my house all the fucking time. So it's nah 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 back.
Right,
Yeah,
so
shit, we do that. Target you.
So right, on that bombshell, we're going to call it a night now. So let's get everyone up on the panel and say good night to everyone. So yeah, thank you everyone for coming up and having a great chat on the live chat. Yeah, much appreciated. The viewers as well on the panel and leaving all the comments. Thank you very much, much appreciated. If I didn't get all your names up and shown like this, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, please forgive me. There's always next week. So yeah, tune in next week at 9 o'clock. You know where to be. Good night, everyone. Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
This is where he does the after